Urban Therapy with Sun752, and this is your daily go-getterism number 797 for December 8th, 2016. All right, so tonight I want to talk to y'all about wanting to know but being afraid to ask. Honestly, there's some things that we really are curious about, things that we want to know, things that we would love to ask somebody, and we really want to know the truth. But at the same time, we're afraid of the answers. It sounds ridiculous, right? Like, how can you have questions but you don't want the answers? Well, I mean, but you have heard people say plenty of times, don't ask questions that you don't want the answers to. So in order to not get the answers that other people will give us, or that reality will give us, sometimes we'll just ask the questions in our mind. And in our mind, we'll search for the answers and try to get comfortable with the answers that way. It's crazy. That's not always a really bad thing, because a lot of times the first thing that people start thinking about in a situation like this, where you don't want to ask questions that you don't want the answers to, is relationships or marriage or whatever. You know, if somebody is cheating on you, if somebody's lying to you, if somebody has kids out there that that they fathered, or if they're really secretly pregnant by another man or whatever. Like, those are things that we may be afraid to know, but in the back of our minds we have really serious questions about it, and reservations about it, and suspicions about them, but we just may not ask. So that's not the only situations in which you may be afraid to know the answers to certain things. All right, so I'm going to give some other scenarios. The future. A lot of people have questions about their future and certain things that they know are going to happen in their future, but they're afraid to know. They're afraid to ask. So let's say you may be curious about how long you're going to live. Well, some people consult a psychic or other people that can help out in that realm. But some people say, no. I don't want to go to no psychic. Some people are weary or leery of psychics because they don't think that they are accurate. Valid, totally valid. Some people are leery of psychics because they think that they may be valid. They may know something that the rest of us don't know, and we're afraid that they may hold the keys to our future. Well, the thing about it is, psychics don't control your future. They just foresee your future. And they don't do it like you see on TV, where they tell you exactly what's going to happen to you and when and what you should look out for. It doesn't work that way. You know, all of us have some type of psychic ability. It's just that some are more acute than others. But forget about all of that. Some people are afraid of what the future may bring, so they may not want to ask any questions about the future. Cut and dry. Also, your health. A lot of people have questions about their health, which actually factors into the whole future piece, but different, a little bit different. You know, you may be having aches and pains, or a rash, or bumps, or some type of uneasy feeling. A lot of these things can be attributed to stress, but it's probably better for a doctor to determine that it's stress making you have the symptoms of certain conditions and diseases and all kinds of stuff. It is possible to make yourself have the symptoms of all kinds of diseases and syndromes and conditions and all of that. And you know, if you're going through a depression, or if you're really stressed out, scared, if you see other people around you that have died or that are really sick, it can make you start getting the same symptoms of what you fear. Fear is crazy. And when you start talking about not wanting to know the answers to the questions that you have, you're directly talking about fear. But anyway, your health. So you know, you may have questions about that rash that won't go away, or alopecia. You know what I mean? You getting bald spots in your hair. You know, your elbow may hurt. You know, I've been feeling pain in your left knee. You know, pain on your left side, making you think that Maybe there's something going on with your heart or something like that. Maybe you've been having palpitations. You want to know about all of these things, and some people run to the doctors at the first sign of trouble. Other people say, no way, I ain't going to no doctor, because they don't want the doctor to tell them something that they don't want to hear. They don't, they fear the diagnosis more than what's going to happen after the diagnosis, which is putting in the work in order to try to get better. So some people will put off going to the doctor. They'll put off trying to find out. And you know what some of them will do? They'll ask other people in the medical profession, try to get like free medical advice instead of going in and getting checked out. It's not that they don't have the insurance. It's not that they don't have the money. But they are so afraid that they are going to hear something that's going to mess up their whole world as far as the diagnosis and prognosis for the future is concerned. They say, forget that. Whatever I got, I'm going to die from it right here. That's a crazy way to think about things, but people do it. Hey, what you going to say? What are you going to say? Financial things, your job. Many of us are working at jobs where they're laying off people like crazy, downsizing people like crazy, firing people like crazy. And you may be wondering if you're on the chopping block, if your name has come up for the next round of people to be marched out the door. Have to give up that laptop, give back that BlackBerry. It's a stressful situation. It really is. It's a stressful situation. Something that we have to deal with sometimes. So you may want to ask your supervisor what's going on and all of that, but you're scared to ask your supervisor. So you just let it ride. Just let it ride. Like, I ain't gonna ask no questions because look, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. I ain't gonna worry about it. But in the back of your mind, you're really worried about it. Very, very worried about it. So there's certain things that you got to do. Try to make the best of a situation. Try to make it happen. So like people go through this stuff all the time. Being afraid of the answers and scared to ask the questions, but you still got to do it. You got to do it. Got to make it happen. Don't be afraid to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to ask the questions. If somebody doesn't want to give you the answers to the questions that you have, demand that shit. But you have to make the decision inside of your mind first of what it's going to be and how you're going to handle that. Don't be scared of nothing. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, when it comes down to questions that you may have that you're afraid to ask, the answers aren't just going to come to you magically out of the sky. You're going to have to actually ask the questions and get the answers that you need and play them cards right. So do that. Don't be scared. The Daily Go Getimism Show is every single day at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Call in number 347. Call in number 319-527-6199. blogtalkradio.com/Sun752. Peace. I'll let y'all. Don't be scared. Ask me anything.